An interesting conversation on the chat to the messenger. That would be earlier today, somewhere around 1 to 3 a.m. And it was about talking about ways of life where people talk about their sexuality. And it seems that, from my opinions about how somebody gets a relationship, I said there was charm involved, but then somebody challenged, I would call him Jin, or challenged my philosophy and way of thought about that. But it's interesting because what you can get online is more so like the text verbal thought, so it helps you think within more, and maybe it could influence about what goes on, I guess you could say, in person. But love seems to be a very sensitive issue, and I guess it did hurt me because I didn't like being told that I wouldn't be cared about. I mean, nobody wants to. I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to have that, but in this reality, not everyone is loved, not everyone is cared about, and it has caused disasters with many consciousnesses of people, and I've observed that. This is what it said. Now you removed me. Am I right what I have said? Admit it. If you can't get a girl or your partner, you will live until you die. Basically saying that you will be alone. From the looks of things, you are a loser to a girl's love. Well, that philosophy and ideas of calling people losers, I just wonder about other people's minds. Like, what the hell are they on in their mindsets? I mean, the world moves in such a competitive way, manipulated by greed and horribleness, and I hate that. I hate that kind of world. I don't want no part of it. But I stay on the outer edges. But I do have an opinion, and I don't get mad about opinions. But sometimes when you have a strong belief, other people get a lot more mad than maybe you would. But I did get grumpy about it because it's offensive, saying that a woman won't love you. I guess some people relate that in their life. Their value is being loved, but do you have to be someone you're not to be loved? I mean, that's not fair to the person. And many people who just say they love people, they use them and discard them when there's no more to be gained. And it's common to figure out these tactics and ways, but in my opinion is, when I think about love, it's about devotion and care, and not everyone's going to love you. It's just natural. I mean, you could be the nicest person in the world and still it's not going to work. But should I worry about if I was loved? No, because I love my own life, I love existence, but I'm not going to necessarily believe that every single female in the entire world would dislike me. I mean, I don't care. I mean, to worry about that. I mean, what's more important is my own creativity and dignity, but when you are faced with that, it makes you wonder. I mean, I guess everyone has those doubts. I'm a sensitive person, so I'm going to feel it when people say stuff like that, Well, the best idea for me is to, I get fascinated by it, actually, when people are rude and mean. I just observe how they came up with that. Why would they be that way? It's pretty fascinating to observe what I call the demented mind. I don't like it. It's disgusting, though. Those kind of thoughts. I would never want anyone to feel like they're not important or our love is going to be taken away, because everyone needs that in their own way. And I don't play favorites with anybody. I never have believed in that kind of idea. That is petty to me, and I love my family all the same. And I just respect other people's lives. I don't hurt others because I have a respect of consciousness, not to make others suffer. The most important thing when knowing about love is that it does make people mess up and confuses them and things like that. And many people have said they love someone, but it has to be tested. There is no such thing as love at first sight, and that's just a species attraction. And if people think that's love, they got a whole bunch to learn. Love's about devotion to good and bad. I'd die for my sister, though. I mean, I love my sister. I love my family, very much. What matters to me, it hurts me more if somebody else who's close to you hurts you, though that's the worst. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't have a relationship, but at least I didn't go through the pain that I've seen other people go through. Why is people divorced, and why are people living alone? Something's not working. I mean, this life isn't that good then, in that area. as much as the media and the world hypes it up. What you got to do is love yourself first before you can even have any love for others. I mean, I've been tempted so many times to be hateful and mean, and I'm not very lovey with others. I mean, I'm nice and kind, but I'm not going to be fighting to be cared about or fighting to be loved. I mean, I'm going to be respectful and nice, and I don't need to worry about being a favorite or anything. If you consider me in a good rank, I'm just a good friend. But I do love life, and I have a type of platonic love of respect. I sometimes thought of maybe it being like an extra level up. More love, more things. But I also feel the most saddest feeling for men that, who get rejected by women and, who probably desired, that kind of intimacy, the sexual and stuff. But it's a hard life. I mean, it's sad. You're going to see a lot of people not being fulfilled in that area, and you have to create for yourself. But what makes me the most mad is that, some people act like, oh, I've succeeded. I've done this because I made it through. But success is basically being alive, and many people do different methods. But to think that you fulfilled just because you had sex and, relationship, it's just narrow-minded. I mean, in my mind, I've been tested and strong, and in many ways I want to say I'm more built up and stronger mentally and focused. And just because I didn't, have a relationship doesn't mean I failed at life. Just because I don't do this or that. I mean, even if you have a job, you look in the wrong mindset, you would probably say, oh, maybe I'm not living really. I mean, maybe I'm just working to make somebody else richer, just so I can stay alive. People's lives are orchestrated and planned out on the, I guess you could call us the common people, by manipulators. And if you're not real with life, you're just lying to yourself. I mean, if man lies, everything is going to be a trick at one stage. Love is always going to be the most important part of life for you to feel happy, but literally begging for it and fighting for it is not going to be worth it. I mean, I'm not going to have that in my life, worrying, demanding about being loved. It's so stupid sometimes. I mean, people even they just love them because they look pretty and stuff. I mean, if they were fat, their bodies were hurt or wounded, I mean, would they still love them? Some people desert people because they lost an arm and stuff like that. I mean, people haven't tested their love. They're afraid of the reality. They're afraid to face the real deal. I'm somebody who will say it how it is, and I'll face it. I mean, I got nothing to lose about life. I have my opinions open and stuff. I'm going to tell you how it is. I mean, I'm about existence and the reality. I'm not about fighting and hurting others. I will tell you how it is. You may hate me for it, and may not like me, but at least I'm being myself, and I don't pretend. If you get care or love for being for yourself, it's much more rewarding than having to be an actor. I mean, there's a lot of fake love in this world. I mean, it's cheap. It just annoys me about that. I mean, being a favorite, being famous and stuff, that stuff is garbage. What's really important is enjoying your existence and living for that. You're going to have people that are nice to you. You accept that. If people are kind and nice, that's the type of love is good, but what should I do? I mean, should I be downer just because, oh, you're going to be alone, you're going to die alone, and you're a loser to girls? Of course I'm going to be a loser to some people, but I'm also going to be victorious to another. But what really matters is yourself. And I mean, the most smartest persons could probably tell me off and do that. And then I'd still say, hey, I got my meaning in life and existence. Doesn't matter if you have degrees or things. It doesn't matter if you're older than me or younger, or if you succeed in here or there. I mean, what's wonderful to another is horrible to somebody else. In my opinion, I kind of don't like the way normal society is run and things like that. I hate it. But am I a dark person? Am I horrible because of that? No. I have respect, I want people to learn about love and life. I want to learn myself. I mean, I'm always learning. I'm not always correct. But I'm open to that. That's what my philosophy is, and I love to share that with others.